Hey YouTube, this is Trent and Clay coming at you again with a brand new video. My brother just recently bought a brand new 2018 Ford F-150 STX. And today we're going to do a little bit of an interior walk around so you get to understand some of the features that are inside the STX. We're not only going to take you inside the SuperCrew version of the STX today, but we'll also show you the factory bed liner that I had installed as well. So without further ado, let's roll. All right guys, so we're gonna take a look here inside my brand new 2018 STX. We're gonna give you a little overview in what you can expect with the STX package here. So the first thing that you'll notice, I think, is this beautiful center console. The thing that you get with the STX that you don't get in the regular XL trim is this 8-inch touchscreen. I felt like for the money, this touchscreen was well worth it. As we mentioned in the other video, the exterior walk around, you do get the backup camera included in the STX package. So having that bigger screen to view your backup camera on, I felt was well worth it. All right. Now up next, you're going to see here's just your basic console controls. The one thing that I wasn't quite sure on when I was looking at these trucks is the CD player. Okay, so this is a 1 CD player, not a 6 CD player changer. But they kind of make up for that here with your USB plugs down here. So you'll be able to plug in your phone, have your passenger charge their phone all at the same time. That's one nice thing. They give you plenty of power outlets, as well as a 12-volt plug right here, so you can plug in a power converter. Going over some of the other controls here across the top, you have your traction control, your hazard lights, and then this little Avengers looking A here. This is actually the switch for your auto start stop technology. So if you're driving along the highway and you come to a stoplight out in the middle of nowhere, once that engine goes down to 0 miles per hour, it's actually going to shut off, and you can feel the engine shut off temporarily. Ford says that's designed to help maintain some engine economy there, some fuel capacity. So far in driving it for a day, I kind of like it. I could see how some people said, though, if you're driving around town constantly starting and stopping, it might be a little annoying. But for right now, I think it's a nice feature. Again, you have you see here, my truck is 4-wheel drive, so you have your 2 high with your 4 high and 4 low. As well as down here, one thing you'll notice that's different on the STX from some other trims, these buttons are blank, and those are for your heated seats. So the STX does not have heated seats, but it does have your single climate control up front. I felt as though the air condition gets really cold really quick. And here's a little hidden feature actually that I just kind of discovered by accident that I have not seen other channels talk about so far. Let's go ahead and start this up. Alright, so you can see the startup menu here. And this does come with Ford Sync 3 for your phone. We've tested it out. It sounds like the voice quality on the calls is fantastic. I know in some other cars you can only hear the driver's seat, but in this car it seemed like people both in the rear seat and in the front seat, passenger as well, were heard pretty well. So this is the little air condition feature I was telling you about. So you can see that I have it on cool right now, but there's a little button here that says Max AC, and you might not know how to get that Max AC. Well, actually what you do is you turn that just a little bit extra, bump it down, and you'll see that Max AC light will come on. And you can hear that Max AC fired up pretty quickly. To turn it off, again, just bump it down, and there you go. So that's one little feature some people did not know about. If we look here in the console, with the STX, you're going to have your column shifter. On some of the like XLT Sports, you'll have the console shifter, but this is a shifter up top here in the STX. Now you see a lot of nice storage space, which I really like. This does slide shut right there. You can see your sync decal there to let you know you have your newest Ford Sync there. I like to keep that open so I can easily access the USB ports. One thing that I noticed right away is these liners actually come out, and I've actually went ahead and found that I could stash my extra key below. Plenty of space down there for something you don't want people to see through your windshield. Sunglasses, wallet, keys, whatever the case may be. The cup holders are nice and deep, so I really like that. I really like the interior, the dash there. I feel like it's well made. It's a truck, so we're not talking any
high-class leather or anything like that, but it feels well made to me. I really like the way it contrasts with the sport cloth I'll talk about here in a second, and also the leadfoot gray color. So when we take a look inside the center console here, you have tons of storage space. I've seen people put safes in here, all kind of stuff. My brother will hopefully link for a safe below that you can actually put in here that locks. So if you have valuables, firearms, whatnot, you can put down in there. I've already started to line up my change drawer a little bit. If you take a look below, I bought this truck from Glenbush Ford in Apollo, Pennsylvania. I would give them a really great review. I worked with Dave and Mike in sales, and then Dan in the finance department. Speaking of the finance department, Ford has recently put out a 0% financing for 60 months. So that's what made me go ahead and decide to pull the trigger on this. So now might be a great time to look into that for yourself as well. I did mention Dan, the finance man at Glenbush, and so he runs a great kind of basketball tournament for his son named Kai. So unfortunately, Dan's son Kai was killed in a drunk driving accident at the age of 16, and he runs a basketball tournament because Kai was, I guess, a pretty good basketball player and really into it. They also have a scholarship in his name. So if you'd like to donate to Kai's legacy scholarship here, you can do so there. My brother will hopefully link that below, or can you see it okay? All right. Or if you'd like to be able to spread the word on the scholarship, you can find application information there. And if you can't do anything else, just at least spread the word on the basketball tournament, because it's a great cause there. So again, Glenbush Ford in Apollo, Pennsylvania, they were really friendly to work with, and I'd recommend going back there. So if you plug your phone in, we're gonna watch it come up here with the Sync 3. All right, it'll go into what they call the Ford or Apple CarPlay, I guess. So you can see my phone now has kind of been taken over by the console or the screen on the truck itself. One thing that a lot of people do not know is that you do not necessarily have to have navigation installed in your truck to receive navigation. So my truck that I ordered, does not have factory installed navigation. But by attaching it to Apple CarPlay, say I'd like to drive to, what's a good place? Let's go to the nearest Walmart. Okay, so we're gonna go to Walmart in good old Connellsville, Pennsylvania. You can see as I type that up on my phone, it's going to pull it up. Whenever I click directions, it's gonna start that for me. Okay, so I'll click go, and here we go.
To Walmart Supercenter. Proceed to the route.
All right, so again, my truck does not have navigation installed, but because I'm using Apple CarPlay, I can use my iMaps to actually have navigation on my screen. So it's really nice. You don't have to keep referencing your phone. It's all there in the center of the console for you. So that's kind of a little hidden tip or trick. It might save you a little bit of money too, instead of ordering the car with the navigation. Now, the downside to this is obviously if you don't have cell phone service, then your iMaps is kind of rendered obsolete. You might want to carry a map in your glove compartment just in case. Okay, so the next thing you'll find on the interior of the 2018 STX is what they call your sport cloth. So the STX automatically comes with the sport package, and you're gonna get this cloth that's unique to the STX. So it's a black cloth with kind of a grayish pinstripe through them. I actually like these seats a lot better than the XLT Sport, which has like this tire tread pattern up the middle of the seat. I feel like the cloth is pretty sturdy. They are manual seats. That's something that the STX has. So if that's a big deal to you, you might want to consider going to the XLT. For me, it wasn't too big of a problem, so I went with the STX. You do have your manual lumbar. The seats slide forward and back and adjust. They do not rise up and down because they are not power. Okay guys, so now we're going to take a look at the back of my 2018 STX. This is the SuperCrew, so it is the biggest cabin available. I am 6'5", my brother is just shy of 6'5", so we have some height in our family. That means we need a lot of space. So me at 6'5", I'm going to climb in the back here, and this passenger seat is actually the whole way back. So you can see, for me, at 6'5", I have a solid, call that 3.5 inches, 4 inches of legroom. Plenty of foot space for my size 15 shoe. I could ride in here comfortably all day. All right. I decided to go with the SuperCrew instead of the Super Cab because the Super Cab was definitely tighter. My brother sat in the back seat. He said, listen, for a short trip I could do this, but any distance it's just not gonna happen. All right guys, so now that we're in the back seat, both my brother and I, and again, we're both over 6'4", you can see we have plenty of room between us, so you're definitely not cramped here at all. Another nice feature is headroom. The F-150 has some of the best headroom, I think, of any car or truck available. Let's walk you through what's below here. As mentioned from the factory, they will give you a front license plate holder if your state requires that, so that came from the dealer. Okay. You do have 2 USBs here for both of your rear passengers, which is a really nice feature, as well as that extra 12-volt outlet. Okay. Now these clips here, or covers, you can see you have to manually adjust those. You do have your rear air vents as well, as long as 2 nice cup holders. I feel like they integrated these cup holders really nice into the truck itself. Obviously you get your rear pockets there. All right. You do have your little handles that help out. Those are in the front and the back. I know my 84-year-old grandparents were excited for me to get this truck, and they both climbed in using these handles and commented about how helpful that was for them. The headrest, they torque forward actually, and so you can adjust as needed, a little bit at a time, and then if you push them the whole way forward, they spring back. As well as back here, you can see that there's a little button on the side. These headrests go down so that if you're driving without any passengers in the back, you have a little bit more clearance and vision out of your rear window. Okay. Now these, Ford I think calls them their, I think the 60/40 seats or something like that. And what that is this seat is separate, and all of these seats in the SuperCrew do fold up. So there's a clip on the bottom, you can fold that up, they'll lock into place, and you can use the handle to come back down. And then my brother's side, we're gonna switch places here. Magic of YouTube. So magic of YouTube back, I'm on the other side, and you can see that this 60 seat folds up. I've already put some stuff under here. Now Husky Company does make a nice kind of liner or storage compartment that goes under here. My brother will link that below. I might end up buying that here in the not too distant future. So again, these seats lock into place for us if we want. And you do see my truck comes with the vinyl floors. You can get an upgrade to the carpet floors. I think it's like $100 or something, maybe 150 bucks from the factory. I was just fine with this, easy clean. You know, I'll probably end up ordering some extra floor mats just to trap the water from running around. But for me, I thought this was well worth it. Now the nice thing about this vinyl is it feels really nice. It feels well padded, well insulated, which I think is a nice thing. Again, my 84-year-old grandmother, that's one of the first things she noticed. She's like, oh, it won't be cold on the floor. So that's what grandma thinks. All right. You do have power windows in the back. No cranking for your passengers, power locks as well. Like we mentioned, the windows come all the way down. No 60% or 67% windows, which I think is really nice. Your handles are actually inside, so they're out of the way. You don't have to really worry about snagging your shorts or anything like that on the handles. You have to reach in to pull those open. You have your speakers down here. Really nice storage pockets pretty much everywhere in the F-150, as well as in the front. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of an overview of what to expect. We have a nice little lamp up top, reading lamp for your passengers. Nothing fancy again, but you know, it is a truck, so I'm not trying to drive a limousine around town. To drop the seats, again, you just pull that clip back down, and you can stagger those any way you need. So if you need a bunch of room in the back, you can put all of them up. If you just have one passenger, you can put the single seat down with your double seat up, and you can see they raise and lower really, really easily. Nice and sturdy there. Hopefully you learned a little bit about the interior of the truck. Let's take you to the bed so you can get a look there as well. Okay guys, so we're at the back of my 2018 F-150 STX. I did ask for, and the dealer delivered here, a drop-in bed liner. You know, it's up to you if you want the spray in, the drop-in, but I would always recommend having a bed liner. You can see that I had a tri-fold tonneau cover put on it as well. You can see up in there that this is a Ford factory bed liner. I liked having the Ford emblem on it. I think that makes a nice little aesthetic touch for us. You do also have some integrated kind of like towing hooks, or I forget the name that Ford calls them, but you can see they're covered by these plastic plugs here, these rubber plugs. They're going to give you different anchoring points that if you need to use something like ratchet straps or bungee cables, you already have some built-in attachment points. If you have any questions on maybe what we missed or a feature that you don't necessarily understand, make sure you drop us a comment below. We'll try to answer those for you as best we can. Make sure you like this video. Give us that thumbs up, guys. It really helps. And also make sure you subscribe to my brother's channel. He'll put the subscription link up there in the top. Make sure you watch our other videos. We have an exterior walk around. We installed a Ford factory tailgate assist. All kind of stuff that you can learn about the F-150. Like I said, currently at 0% financing for 60 months. I think it's a great time if you're interested to go deal with your local dealer. So if you have questions, like I said, let us know. Other than that, have a great day.